Hey everyone, What If Fan here, bringing you another exciting part of What If Martial Artist Reborn is Kenichi Shirahama. You can find the fanfic title and the original author's name on my Patreon page. Make sure to check it out and show them some love. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. Alright, let's jump into it. Chapter 121, Friend. Stupid, shouted Myo when she saw that they were immersed in the fight and forgot about their surrounding. Tsutomu and Kenichi stopped their fight, and when Myo along with the others who were seeing their fight saw both of their disheveled state, they couldn't help but laugh. Even thought the fight wasn't concluded, but both of them knew that the other wasn't going to go down without taking him as well, so they stopped the fight the moment Myo shouted to stop them. Huff. Huff. Thank you, Kenichi. After fighting you with your full strength and ki no shuka, I think I would be able to reach that level really soon, Tsutomu said as he was already half a step in the third stage of becoming one with the ki, internal energy. So with the knowledge he gained from this fight will be insightful for him. No, Tsutomu-san, after this fight I think I also understand what will be necessary for me to step into master class, and I have to thank you for that, Kenichi said. You would have been able to do it even if I didn't fought you, but me, I don't think I would have reached ki no shuka before my wife if not for this fight. It's the first time that I would be reaching a stage before her, Tsutomu said with a laugh. Why don't you two thank each other later, and for now go with Akisame-san and Kensei-san to take care of your injuries, Myo said as she was fuming with anger due to all the destruction that the two has caused. Yes, let's do that, Kenichi said, to which Tsutomu nodded his head and both of them followed Akisame and Kensei to their clinic. In the hospital. Ryuto had woken up for some time, but he hasn't met his master as he was busy due to some situation while Rimi was by his side taking care of him. When is my master coming? Asked Ryuto for nth time. He said that he would be coming as fast as he can, Ryuto-sama. Why don't you eat some fruits you haven't eaten for quite some time, Rimi said. I already just 2 hours ago, there is no need for this, Ryuto said, refusing Rimi's offer. You should eat when someone is trying to help, Ogata said as he entered the room. Your body isn't like before, so you should eat as much as you can to have enough strength. Master, why did you knock me out while we were talking? Asked Ryuto. Because your body was not in the condition to talk with, and now that you are a little good we can talk, Ogata stated as he sat on a stool picking up a fruit that Rimi had peeled for Ryuto, putting it in his mouth. So ask, what did you wanted to ask? Why did I felt that I was fighting with someone of your caliber when against Kenichi and that ki no shuka? What is it? I thought there was only say in do type of internal energy, Ryuto asked, not caring about Ogata's behavior. There are only those two, Ogata nodded, deciding not to talk about exceptions, but there are levels of controlling your internal energy. You are just skimming the first level, ki no hatsudo, or invoking of internal energy, ki. But your friend there is already at the third and final level. Even people at the master class cannot utilize this as well as your rival. I might say he might even be at my level or above me in controlling it, but his body and experience is nowhere close. Though the reason he healed you is because he's Katsujinkan. What does that mean? Asked Rimi. Ryozanpaku follows the creed of Katsujinkan, a practice where a martial arts practitioner will not kill, even at the risk of his own life. I saw and heard your conversation during the fight. He knew, somehow, about the danger, whether it was by glancing at your or sensing your ki or something else. So when he fought you, his self-made hand style which he used against you not only stopped the ravage ki from spreading over your body, but he also managed to balance your ki network so as to mitigate the damage as much as possible, Ogata explained, after which he howled in laughter. Such an outrageous disciple Ryozanpaku was raising now. I have become more and more interested in him. Ogata then told the two of them that he would train them as much as he could, but for some time Ryuto should rest, after which he left to talk with the rest of the Yami members. Ryuto, however, couldn't help but think, why did Kenichi saved him, even when he could have completely beaten him early in the fight? So why did he took such a risk to make sure that he doesn't become a cripple? Ryuto-sama, called Rimi. What is it, Rimi? Asked Ryuto. This fell from your pocket while we were bringing you to the hospital, Rimi said, showing the paper to Ryuto. On the paper there was a handwritten note. Don't think too much, I did it simply because you were my first friend and I have to take care of you, Kenichi. Damn idiot, scowled Ryuto before tossing the letter to the side, but he still felt nice in his heart though he didn't show it on his face. Ryuto-sama, Rimi will train to become strong and always be there to be the first one to fight for Ryuto-sama, said Rimi with her face showing her conviction. Good Rimi, cause if you are weak then there is no way that you would be able to stay by my side, Ryuto said as he picked up the peeled fruit and started eating them. Yes, don't worry Ryuto-sama, Rimi won't let you down, Rimi said while smiling as she saw her Ryuto-sama eating the fruits that she peeled for him. Ryuto however wasn't paying attention anymore as in his mind he was thinking friend. Ha! Chapter 122, New Enemy. Ryuto however wasn't paying attention anymore as in his mind he was thinking friend. Ha! At the Ryozanpoku dojo. Right now the history's strongest disciple Kenichi was being tested on Akasame's new machine. Ha! Kenichi shouted as he punched the wooden target board while he was forced on a treadmill. He was tied on a new contraption that should he miss, was too slow, or tripped, would pull him back into an iron board crackling with electricity. Hey, isn't this your new invention for training? Akasame asked Elder Hayato. Yes. It's a machine which trains his running ability, his punch's power and strengthens his willpower all at the same time, Akasame said as he looked towards Elder Hayato. It's called Press Forward, Regress Hell. Oh. Akasame, your invention has also reached master level, Hayato said. By the way, can you gather everyone? It's time to have Ryozanpoku's master meeting. Another room in the dojo. All the 6 masters were sitting in the room when Elder said Yami is moving. Ogata Ishinsai, who calls himself Kensei, has declared war on us. It seems he's joined forces with Yami. All of you should also be aware he was the man who intended to be the #1 disciple of Ryozanpoku before Kenichi, hence it is a little troublesome. That Ogata. Despite the implicit understanding between Yami and us, Akasame said. Geez, it's beginning to look more than just a quarrel, said Sakaki. If they come here in full force, I predict that our history's strongest disciple will pummel their disciple to the ground, said Ma Kensei with a smile. Appa will love to see that, Appachai said. That's because none of them know that Kenichi can already stand toe-to-toe with master-class martial artist with his superior physique and ki control, and he isn't that much away from becoming a master. When that happens they themselves can attack him as well if they want to, Elder Hayato said. Myo, who was bringing them tea, heard all of this and started to worry about Kenichi. Then Elder, what do you think? Akasame asked. I think we should go with the usual plan. Elder Hayato said. Ha! Thought so. The same plan. Sakaki said. The giant dealing with it when the times come plan. Meeting adjourned, Elder Hayato said. Myo, who was listening all of this, fell face first on the ground. Can you call that a plan, she thought. While this was happening in Ryozanpoku, the other member of Shinpaku Alliance have also became busy. Takeda has finally made James Shiba to accept him as his disciple, and he was training him like a madman so that he could become strong enough to earn him money through underground arena. While Natsu was just enjoying his time with his sister but didn't forget to keep practicing his martial arts. Kazara and Kaname were training together, sparring now then to refine their art. Yukita was learning from his masters in the dojo. Siegfried was the one who was most happy as Naijima, after listening to Kenichi's advice, showed him prayer wheel and was now spinning while standing on it. Yuma Chiaki aka Thor was practicing his sumo in the forest. Siko was training with her sister who was going to America during holidays to meet their father so that he could help her in advancing to Grandmaster level. Renka was training with her uncle Hakobi so that she could surpass Myo and Siko and help Kenichi more. And Naijima. He was like always trying to increase his influence around the world. Kenichi was coming back from school and was going to his room when he saw Appachai and Shigeru was eavesdropping near Sakaki's room. Looks like Master Sakaki got his big work, thought Kenichi when he saw them. Well then, we will inform the client of the rest later, thank you Sakaki. Came a voice from Sakaki's room as the door of his room slid open. What the hell are you guys doing? Asked Sakaki as he saw Appachai and Shigeru not far from his room hiding. Nothing much, said Shigeru as she walked away while walking upside down on the ceiling. Did they bring gifts? Asked Appachai. No, replied Sakaki. Kenichi just laughed at this and went to his room while saying, "Looks like you got yourself a job, huh, master?" "Huh? How do you know?" asked Sakaki, jumping in front of Kenichi. "That man in the suit said that he will inform the client about the rest, so I think that he was talking about your client, right?" Kenichi said. "Ah, yes, you are right, they come around once in a while, with dangerous jobs that can't be publicized for diplomatic reasons," said Sakaki with his signature smile. "Well, that's nice," Kenichi said. "Unlike Akasame or Ma, I don't have a steady income, I earn a lot in one big go," Sakaki said. "Then that means it's dangerous, isn't it?" Kenichi asked the obvious. "Of course it is. Why do you want to come with me?" Sakaki asked. That's a nice idea," Akisame said while listening from a corner. In the night, Nyo was going to drink water while yawning when she heard the masters talking. "So you want me to take Kenichi with me as a field trip to observe the underground society? Could be interesting," Sakaki said. The rest of the masters were discussing this topic while on the other hand Kenichi was talking to Naijima on his phone. "Listen to me, Naijima, I am going to go on a field trip with my sensei, so if some problem occurs then I will not be there to clear it, hence I want you to be ready," said Kenichi. He, what can happen now that we have taken down Ragnarok?" Naijima said with his alien laugh. "Did you really think that after taking down Ragnarok you won't be facing any problem?" asked Kenichi. "Yes, of course I don't think that anyone will have the guts to fight with us after we have taken down Ragnarok," said Naijima. "Man, how ill-informed are you?" Chapter 123, Ogata Moves. "Did you really think that after taking down Ragnarok you won't be facing any problem?" asked Kenichi. "Yes, of course I don't think that anyone will have the guts to fight with us after we have taken down Ragnarok," said Naijima. "Man, how ill-informed are you?" Kenichi stated as he shook his head, "Since you made a hype that Shinpaku Alliance had beaten down Ragnarok, hence we have also become a target of those who wanted to take down Ragnarok and their throne." "What? How do you know that?" Naijima asked in shock. "You said that your best quality was to collect information, and when you can't even do that properly, what does that say about you?" Kenichi berated Naijima's skill. "Don't berate my skills, Kenichi, I may have been flaunting a little but I can collect information on whomever I want," Naijima said proudly. "Fine, then try to look every information you can on Yami, because they are whom you will have to deal with from now on, or more like their disciples, so collect all the information you can on them, Naijima, and be ready, cause if they come when I am not here they may come after you," Kenichi said. What? "Oi Kenichi, don't do it like this, I promise I will collect all the information, but if you have any idea then do tell me. What will I do if they come while I don't have enough information on them?" Naijima bemoaned. "Just make sure that you have everyone around to deal with them, more importantly Renka, Nyo, and Siko, cause as of now they are the only ones who could take a disciple of Yami on their own, but you can have Takeda, Kazara and Siegfried as a backup if more comes your way," Kenichi said. "Then I will make sure that I am in contact with everyone and bring them together just as I hear a news about them," Naijima said. "Yes, there was this guy named Suji Shinosuke who was at Kazara's level before she became a fist only by being a street brawler, after which he went to the mountain for training. See if he can be contacted or not," Kenichi said. "Street brawler? Do you think that he would have become strong after mountain training?" asked Naijima. "Who knows, but since he was a divisional leader he was good. Moreover, he is good enough than most of the members of the Shinpaku Alliance," replied Kenichi. "Okay, is there anything else that I need to look out for?" asked Naijima. "Just look for yourself, as I don't know if they will come for you or not," Kenichi said. "I will, thank you," Kenichi said. Naijima. "Good then, bye," Kenichi said and disconnected the phone. Hoof. "What will you do, Ogata? After seeing Ryuto's condition you know that even your Yami's disciple won't be able to defeat me, so what will you do?" thought Kenichi. At the same time, at a luxury cruise ship, Ogata stood at the dining room with one other person. "Tenmon-Lee, welcome to Japan. I am Ishinai Ogata. Let me give you something before you enter Japan." With a flick of his wrist, he sent a card flying towards the other man, who catched it casually with his fingers. "Who, is this license to kill?" asked Tenmon. No, nothing like that, it's just one of Yami's passports." Ogata said, "Don't say something that will hurt your reputation. I want you to go after Ryo Zanpaku's disciple and bring him to me." "Who ambitious aren't you? Wanting to take him for yourself?" He must be really talented to catch your eyes. Wanting to hog the disciple of Ryo Zanpakuo, said Tenmon in an amused tone. Well, of course, he is such a fine boy, and if he follows the creed of Katsujinkan, then I am sure that his future would be limited and I can't happen, so you will bring him to me, Ogata said. So its boy must be a prodigy to make you want him that much, stated Tenmonly. I will send my disciple to go after him. That may not work here. No need for haste. I was hoping that you would be willing to work with another group before assaulting Ryo Zanpakuo, Ogata said quickly. Oof. I am not sure why you would need another group, but I will listen for now, said Tenmon as he frowned. Sparna, the leader of Yomi, is talking with the other group of martial artists on my behalf who are from Zanshin Taisha style. I was hoping for them to assault Ryo Zanpakuo directly while you personal take their disciple for me. His name is Shirahama Kenichi. I can't wait to mold him into a better fighter, said Ogata. Very well, I will cooperate with this other group, said Tenmon. Excellent, smiled Ogata, it will take some time before everything will be ready. In the meantime, you can always send out your disciple to train against other gang members to expand Yomi. The next morning. Wow, a new doogie. And it even make me more handsome and cool, said Kenichi. Hey now don't be a narcissist, Sakaki said. I am not, it's an honest appraisal that I got from Myo and Shigeru, Kenichi said as he looked at the said girls whose eyes were twinkling a little as their face was a little pink. Hearing Kenichi's words, the two girls got their focus back. Myo felt ashamed while Shigeru went back to her stone-cold face. So what do you think about it? We all made it together. The doogie of karate and jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai's bandages. Kung Fu pants. It's a doogie that is suitable for our strongest disciple. Akasame said. I get it, but is there any special occasion for giving this doogie to me? Asked Kenichi, though he already knew the reason and was playing it by the ear. That vest is from Shigeru, a skilled craftsman made it, it's quite solid, said Akasame. Even a bullet won't go through. Shigeru added. Kenichi smiled at Shigeru and said, thanks Shigeru, but I promise that I won't let anyone have the chance to shoot a bullet at me. Kenichi. Aren't you a bit worried that why they are talking about gins and bullets? Asked Myo. Don't worry Myo, I think I have already guessed it correct. Chapter 124, Race. Kenichi. Aren't you a bit worried that why they are talking about gins and bullets? Asked Myo. Don't worry Myo, I think I have already guessed it correct, Kenichi stated. All this protection means that I am going to be involved in something dangerous, and since Master Sakaki has recently gotten a business offer which obviously would be dangerous, and I have to go with him to gain experience, isn't that it? Ho, nice deduction skills you have there, Kenichi, said Akasame as he smiled. Kenichi, here, take it, said Shigeru as she gave Kenichi a meteor hammer. Oh. So this is the weapon you want me to use first? It's nice Shigeru, the weight of the meteor is also good, said Kenichi. Oi, what is this? Asked Sakaki in surprise. Well, nothing much Master Sakaki, it's just that I told Shigeru that if she wants me to use weapons in the field, then the weapons have to be personally crafted by her, and it's up to her to decide which weapons I should use by making the said weapon for me, explained Kenichi. So you are going to use meteor hammer until Shigeru decides to use a new weapon for you? Asked Kensei. Correct, replied Kenichi with a smile. Interesting. This will help you to learn the weapons much faster than just training, Akasame said. Yeah, it's good, now let's go, or the employer would be dead before I even have the chance to protect him, said Sakaki as he walked out with his motorcycle keys in his hand. Come on Kenichi, said Sakaki, pointing Kenichi to sit on his bike sidecar. Are you kidding? I have my own bike, there is no way I am sitting on a sidecar, Kenichi scoffed as he took out his own bike's key, showing it Sakaki. We would be late if I have to wait for you to catch up to me, grumbled Sakaki. Okay. Then how about we make a bet? We will race from here to the employer's address, and the one who reaches first wins. The loser will have to pay the winner $10,000, said Kenichi. Ha! You are on, Kenichi, said Sakaki, starting his bike, but before he could exit the dojo, Kenichi jumped in front of him. First tell me the address, then you can run off, he said. TCH, fine, it's XYZ Lane, and the biggest bungalow there belongs to the employer, Sakaki said. Kenichi nodded his head and jumped on his bike, starting it, but by this time Sakaki already rode away on his bike. Fuck, "This master is a cheater," said Kenichi as he also rode away. "Be safe, Kenichi," said Mule, waving her hand. "Don't lose," said Shigeru. "I will, and thank you," shouted Kenichi from far away as he heard Mio and Shigeru's fleeting voice. My Kenichi knows how to rile up Sakaki," said Elder Sakaki. Sakaki and Kenichi were zooming past the cars on their bike, Kenichi right behind Sakaki, but he couldn't overtake him as whenever Kenichi tried to do so, Sakaki would take his bike right in front of Kenichi. "Shit, if this goes on then I may never be able to overtake him," thought Kenichi. Then he looked around to see if there is any way to overtake Sakaki. When he saw that they would need to face the traffic if they continue to move on, then his mind moved fast and he remembered all the shortcut from the different alleys that Naijima has told him about. There is one alley that connects to the other road, but he said that there was some construction going on. Hopefully it would have been completed by now, thought Kenichi as he took a sharp turn to the right entering the alley. Passing through it, Kenichi came upon the place where the construction was happening. There was a ditch and rods lying around and there was little space to pass, but Kenichi didn't decrease his speed but increased it, and just as he reached the little walking space he lifted the front tire, doing a wheelie and passed it. After doing so, Kenichi didn't face any problem and came out of the alley, joining the road. When he looked back, Kenichi saw that Sakaki was still stuck in the traffic, seeing which he smiled and once again moved towards the employer's bungalow. Where did Kenichi go? Did he trick me and ran away? Sakaki thought when he didn't saw Kenichi anywhere, but when he looked forward he saw that Kenichi had already passed through the traffic. How did he reach there? Sakaki shouted, scaring the hell out of the people around him. He gritted his teeth and picked up his bike, jumping on the sidewalk, and ran forward while holding his bike above his head, placing "It's not over, Kenichi," he said after he passed the traffic and returned to the road, placing his bike on the ground once again, starting it and returning to the race. Now how will you win, Master Sakaki?" Kenichi thought, but when he was gleefully cheering himself he saw Sakaki on his bike not far behind him from his rear view mirror. Holy fucking Jesus shit, how did he pass the traffic? Did this monster picked up his bike and ran through the traffic while holding it, mumbled Kenichi. Knowing this monster he would have done so just that he doesn't lose, Kenichi thought, increasing his speed. Kenichi! Sakaki shouted while gritting his teeth, and while maintaining his speed he lowered his body and picked up the few stones to throw towards Kenichi. Kenichi, who saw this from his rear view mirror, couldn't help but curse "fuck this sore loser" and tried to maneuver his bike to dodge the stones thrown by Sakaki from hitting him. Though it was easy to dodge them at the beginning, but when Sakaki increased his throwing power it was impossible to dodge, hence Kenichi did the next best thing. Taking out the meteor hammer that Shigeru had given him in the morning, he blocked the stones from hitting him by predicting the trajectory of the stones, then throwing the 5 kilograms meteor hammer and pulling it back again to throw it again. The people who were walking on footpath could only utter words, "Oh, nice moves. What movie are they shooting? Where is the camera? The hero is so handsome, oh my god. Ah, the villain is really scary." Chapter 125, Bodyguard Sasaki. Sakaki throwing stone at Kenichi and Kenichi using the meteor hammer to block the attack. This continued until Sakaki wasn't able to find any more stones around to throw at Kenichi. Huff, huff. Fuck, I am exhausted even though I am on bike, Kenichi said as he stopped looking back and focused on the road ahead. Shit. Fuck, why did Shigeru gave him that meteor hammer today? Only Sakaki grumbled. After passing another crossroad, Kenichi could see the bungalow of the employer and smiled, knowing that the victory was in his grasp, but before he could enjoy that brief relief he saw 4 men standing at the gate holding swords at their hand, protecting it. Ah. Fuck, I totally forgot about these shitheads, Kenichi said as he looked at the 4 bodyguards. Sakaki, who was not much behind Kenichi, saw the 4 guards and laughed heartily. Ha 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 ha, now what will you do, Kenichi? If you stop cause of them then I will surpass you. Stop right there, shouted one of the guards, but Kenichi wasn't the one to stop. Using his meteor hammer he throwed it towards the guard who shouted at him. Since Kenichi used almost all of his strength that he could muster, the speed of the meteor hammer was fast, not giving the guard enough time to properly block it. The guard was pushed back, loosing the hold of his sword. Right then Kenichi jerked his hand that was holding the meteor hammer to the right, simultaneously attacking the other guard at his temple. The guard who was hit by the 5 kilograms meteor hammer immediately lost his consciousness. Kenichi then pulled the meteor hammer back and let go the other hand from his bike as well and spun the meteor hammer above his head with incredible speed, throwing it towards the 2 bodyguards that still had their weapon while the bike moved straight towards them. The two guards were ready for him, but Kenichi wasn't directly attacking them as the meteor hammer went for one guard's leg, pulling him and making him fall towards the other guard, giving Kenichi enough space to pass through them, which he did, and entered the courtyard of the employer's bungalow, winning the race in bet. Before the guards could run after Kenichi, they saw one more man coming towards them, so they focused on him, and the three guards except the one knocked by Kenichi attacked Sakaki, but he was already angry from losing a bet from his disciple, released all his angers on the three, punching each of them 3 times without losing any of his bike speed while he spat, "Bastards, Coles, and stop my disciple and trying to block me entering the gate. Ha ha ha, I will be expecting my 10,000 bucks after this mission, Master Sakaki," said Kenichi as he laughed. "What, 10,000 bucks? I don't remember accepting any bet with you," said Sakaki, becoming shameless and not remembering the bet. "I knew that you would say something like that," Kenichi said as he smiled, "but don't forget that everyone from Ryozanpaku was present when we made the bet. So even if you deny it now, you won't be able to deny it that time, and even then you continue to remain shameless. All I have to do is tell Apachai that out of 10,000 bucks 5,000 were for his hamburgers, then what do you think he will do? TCH, treacherous bastard, you should stop hanging out with that alien friend of yours," said Sakaki as he knew that he will have to pay the betting money. Clap 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 asterisk, marvelous job, marvelous job. He is expected from the rumors of the famous brawler of 100th level Sakaki Shio, said a blonde man followed by 2 guards and a secretary, "but I have to say this young man with you have impressed me more, as I haven't heard about you. Please tell me your name, young man." "By the way, my name Wingosh." "Kenichi Shirahama," replied Kenichi and asked, "were those bodyguards of yours didn't knew that we were here to protect you?" "That's not important. Our sword's the best that a famous weapon dealer of rumor can do?" Wingo-san, Sakaki said right after Kenichi. "We are just traders operating within the law. We are not mafia. When we are in Rome we do as the Romans do, and my bodyguards had to make sure that whether you are fake or not, hence they acted that way," Gosh explained. "Why don't we go inside the villa and talk there?" Sakaki and Kenichi looked at each other, then followed Gosh inside the villa. He. "Isn't this a nice mansion? It's quite. The Japanese government has been most kind in secretly sheltering me," said Gosh as he laughed while sitting on his chair. "Let's go over the job requirements," Sakaki said. He. "What, such a simple thing? For 3 days I am in Japan, you will be my personal bodyguard. With the nature of this business, I have many enemies. It would seem that, though the Japanese police cannot guard me in the public, if I were to be killed in Japan, it would cause them many problems," explained Gosh. "Then, it's true that Christopher is among the assassins after you?" Sakaki asked. "It hasn't been confirmed, but it's causing same worry amongst my subordinates," Gosh said with a pale face. "Christopher. So he is the guy from whom we have to protect him?" asked Kenichi. "Yes, Christopher A. Clare. He's a professional hitman. He's a master of savate, a French fighting sport which can be traced back to the ancient Greece's pankration. Nowadays, it has been converted into a sport called box franchise savate, which doesn't use throws or elbow blows. However, that guy, on the other hand, has only practiced techniques that destroy the opponent. It's reached the state where it's called murderer's savate," Sakaki explained. "I will show you that I can deal with 1 or 2 wimpy French men without the help of this monkey," said the bodyguard standing beside Sakaki in English. "Take my advice. Go back to the jungle if you value your life, gorilla," Sakaki replied in English. "What?" the bodyguard, now termed as gorilla, shouted. Kenichi snickered as heard Sakaki's insult. While they were talking to each other, Gosh's secretary came in to tell him about his schedule, where they have to go now. Seeing this secretary, Kenichi didn't want it to do it the same way, so without thinking much he throwed the meteor hammer in her direction. Chapter 126, Train Fight. Seeing this secretary, Kenichi didn't want it to do it the same way, so without thinking much he throwed the meteor hammer in her direction. The guard who was having a word fight with Sakaki saw this and punched towards Kenichi, but Sakaki blocked the punch, holding it tightly. The secretary, who saw the meteor hammer coming towards her, did a backflip and dodged it. "Ha, see, I knew something was wrong with her," said Kenichi. What? Gosh said as he didn't knew what happened, as it happened too fast for him to understand it. Nothing much, just that you had a spy right beside you all the time telling your every move to your assassin. Kenichi said. How did you know, Kenichi? Asked Sakaki. I didn't. You did, replied Kenichi, looking at Sakaki. When she came in front of you for the first time you raised your eyebrow, which you only do when you feel suspicious. Then after that all this time you had your guard up constantly against her, hence I thought that she was a spy. Ha 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 ha. I didn't you that your observation skills were so scary, but she isn't just any spy, said Sakaki, looking at the secretary. All of Eclair's women use the same perfume as him, don't they, little spy? The now exposed spy stomped her heel, allowing a knife to come out from the platform below the toe box, jumped towards Ghosh intending to stab his head, only for an object to hit her ankle, giving enough time for his bodyguards to tackle him to the safety. The women looked at Kenichi, who had thrown his meteor hammer, once again stopping her from killing Ghosh. Not only he exposed her but spoiled her plans as well, making her curse him, after which she jumped out of the window as she knew that there wasn't anything that she could do anymore. Kenichi had just taken few steps in her direction when a hand came in his shoulder, stopping him dead at his tracks. Kenichi looked behind and saw that Sakaki was shaking his head. Leave it, there isn't any need if needless running. Sea catcher, said Ghosh to his bodyguards. By the time your people even start looking for her she would be long gone, said Sakaki. Then why don't you catch him? Shouted Ghosh. I am your bodyguards, not your dog. Order me like that again and you will understand that Christopher is an angel when compared to me, said Sakaki as he turned to look at the window. Fetch someone else to do that type of work if you want, as he released Dun of his key, creating pressure on Ghosh and his so-called bodyguards. Ghosh gulped and nodded his head, not wanting to see what Sakaki could do. So you were found out? Asked Christopher over his phone in French. Yes, replied the spy. The bodyguards that he has hired is Sakaki Shio along with his two disciples who acted on behalf of Sakaki when he grew suspicious of me. So it's Sakaki, but how did you said he grew suspicious of you? Asked Christopher. He knew that I was using the same perfume as you, but didn't act it. Instead it was his disciple who acted when he saw that Sakaki was suspicious of me, explained the spy. Ah. Yeah, he would know about that, but his disciple is quite interesting. Well, it's fine, we have 3 days to kill the target, so don't worry about that butterfly. But did you put the tracker on him? Asked Christopher. Yes, it's in his gun that he always keeps with him. Idiot wouldn't never think about this, replied the spy. Good, then let's enjoy the hunt, shall we? Christopher said as he disconnected the phone and opened his laptop to search the position of the tracker his women has placed. On a passenger train, Kenichi, Sakaki and Ghosh were inside it, traveling through it while Ghosh's bodyguards were using his car to reach the destination as a diversion for Christopher. Master Sakaki, don't you think that being in a crowded place is what an assassin will like the most? Asked Kenichi. Ha, there is no need to worry. I am using the train without even telling any of his bodyguards, so how would he even know that we are here, said Sakaki, then suddenly became silent with extreme seriousness on his face, scaring the shit out of Ghosh. What happened? Asked Ghosh. The train has just stopped on a station and some passengers entered and exited the train. Out of them was a man who had rather effeminate appearance and hairstyle, cause of which he can easily be mistaken for a woman. He has gray hair and was wearing a dark red coat with white gloves and has blue pants and dark boots. Kenichi recognized the man instantly and knew that he was the reason for Sakaki's seriousness. Looks like your plan was instantly foiled by your friend Master Sakaki, said Kenichi in a teasing tone. Gore, just keep him safe while I will meet my old friend, growled Sakaki as he walked towards Christopher, who's standing in front of the gate. Yo, Shio-chan, you found me, Christopher said as he saw Sakaki looking towards him. Grabbing one passenger in front of him, he kicked towards Sakaki, who blocked those kicks. One of his kick landed on the metal pole, bending it. Haven't you heard of T.P.O, time, place and occasion? Weren't you taught not to fight in the middle of a train, said Sakaki. Shio, if you use your power karate in a crowded place like his, it will affect people. So you can't even use half of your power, Christopher said as he kicked Sakaki. However, Sabat's specialty is its precise attacks from any direction. Being inside a train gives me the overwhelming advantage. Sakaki grabbed the man Christopher was using as a shield, punching towards him as he shouted, this has nothing to do with the theory. But Christopher had caught another hostage to use as a shield to fight against Sakaki. *****, I knew that it would be helpful for assassin like him to be in the train, said Kenichi to the shivering Ghosh. Chapter 127, Kenichi vs. Assassin. Sakaki grabbed the man Christopher was using as a shield, punching towards him as he shouted, "This has nothing to do with the theory." But Christopher had caught another hostage to use as a shield to fight against Sakaki. *****, I knew that it would be helpful for assassin like him to be in the train, said Kenichi to the shivering Gauche. As the fight between Sakaki and Christopher was going on, Kenichi noticed that 3 women were walking towards him and Gauche. From their facial features they don't look Japanese, and Christopher keeps his women by his side so that they can help an assassination. Other than that spy who I know about, he should have 3 more girls, then these 3 are most probably his women as well, thought Kenichi. Pulling Gauche behind him, he said, "Stay behind and don't run or you will die." What? Asked Gauche in shock. "See Susie, I knew he would find out," said a woman standing on the right in French. "Yeah, Scarlet, he is good, maybe that's why he found Adeline out, don't you think so as well, Abella?" said Susie. "Doesn't matter, let's just end it fast," Abella said. "Can't we just wait here and watch the fight between 2 masters and learn from it?" "I don't like to hurt girl that," Kenichi said in French as well. "That's quite fluent French you speak, but sorry we can't do what you ask as we have a mission same as you," Scarlet said with a smile and charged towards Kenichi. Using the sabbat she kicked towards Kenichi. Same as the spy, she also had blade in her heels, but Kenichi didn't let her kick reach him, as when she kicked towards him, he charged forward, decreasing the distance between them with his palm open. He landed a hit on her stomach. Groaned Scarlet in pain as spit came out of her mouth while her body was thrown back to the 2 girls who hurriedly catched her. "I said I didn't like to hurt girls, didn't mean I can't," Kenichi said as he doesn't feel bad about hitting these girls who may have assassinated people before just for the sake for money. "Scarlet, you bastard," Susie said as she looked at Scarlet, who was groaning pain, and it was clear that she won't be able to fight anymore. Susie and Abella attacked him together with their legs kicking at him, but Kenichi, who has already seen Christopher's fight, knew that those who practice sabbat has a longer reach, hence he didn't back down but instead moved forward. The girls weren't expecting this, hence Kenichi easily blocked their kicks with his hands, but they quickly adapted and Susie punched towards him on his face while Abella kicked once again, making him jump back. I have to end this fast, Kenichi thought as he went into his battle stance and charged towards the 2. Abella, seeing him charge at them, punched at his direction while Susie did a high kick for his chest. Kenichi twisted his body to dodge the kick, but he didn't forget to land a hits on Susie's leg while doing so with his gentle fist, then parried Abella's punch with his right hand as his left landed a hit on her underarm, then on her ribs. Both the girls groaned and as they felt immense pain at their leg and hand, which were now totally unusable for the fights. "Now can we stop? It's impossible for you 2 to use even half of your strength, so let's just wait and watch how the fight ends," said Kenichi. Both the girls didn't reply, but from their silence he knew that they won't try anything for now, but he didn't let his guard down. Sakaki and Christopher's fight was becoming more intense and Sakaki was growing more and more angry at Christopher as he was continuously using the normal people as a shield against him. "If you don't have guts to fight, then why the fuck are you here?" Sakaki said. It's not about that, Shio-chan, I am here to kill Gauche and that's all I want to do," said Christopher as he looked at where Gauche was standing to check if her women have done the job, but he saw that all 3 of them were injured and unable to fight at all. "Oh. Looks like your disciple took care of my girls. Didn't thought he would be this strong," said Christopher. That's right. That's my disciple," said Sakaki with a proud face. Aren't you quite proud him?" Christopher said. "HMNP, you think about yourself," Sakaki said as he punched towards Christopher. "I don't think so," said Christopher as he picked up a child and throwed him out of the window that was earlier broken by Sakaki's punch. "My brother!" shouted a girl whose brother Christopher was thrown out. "Bastard!" Sakaki said as he jumped out of the train through the window to catch the kid. "Poor Sakaki, it's really hard to play the hero," said Christopher as he moved towards Gauche. "Ah! Save me," Gauche said as he grabbed Kenichi's waist. "Shit, leave me, idiot, otherwise how do you think I would protect you?" cursed Kenichi. Gauche hurriedly let go of Kenichi, so that he could protect him. "Since you have hurt my girl, then don't think about getting unscathed from it," Christopher said. Christopher launched a barrage of kicks at Kenichi. Kenichi used Psychokin and started blocking the kicks, but his speed wasn't fast enough to block them all, hence his dogi was torn in many places. Shit. I should have removed my restraints earlier. Now this bastard won't even let me breath. But where the hell is Master Sakaki? Thought Kenichi. Oh. Didn't thought that you would be able to block them at all, Christopher said as he increased the speed of his kicks. Christopher's kicks were sharp, precise and fast, cause of which Kenichi had started to bleed for his arms, leg and waist. Fuck, getting beaten without even able to go all out, Kenichi cursed himself. Chapter 128, 3 Days. Christopher's kicks were sharp, precise and fast, cause of which Kenichi had started to bleed for his arms, leg and waist. Fuck, getting beaten without even able to go all out, Kenichi cursed himself. Era looks like you won't be able to stand for much long, said Christopher as he kicked towards Kenichi's solar plexus, but he was able to block the kick with both his hands. It's time to say goodbye, disciple of Sakaki, said Christopher. But before he could hurt Kenichi anymore, a roar came from behind Christopher, and as he turned his head he saw Sakaki's punch coming towards him with full strength. Didn't I said theory didn't matter, Sakaki said as his punch landed Christopher's body, throwing him out of the train. Seeing their master being thrown out, the girls also followed him after stopping the train by pushing the button. Since Sakaki wasn't even looking at them and Kenichi was injured a little, they didn't needed to fear them. Where are you going, bitches? Ghosh said as he pulled out his gun and pointed at the girls. If you pulled that trigger, then Christopher will follow you till the ends of the earth to kill you, Sakaki warned. Ghosh's hands started to shook as he dropped his gun in fear, setting which the girls jumped or if the train to look for their master. You! How did you reach to this state in such a short time? Asked Sakaki in surprise as he looked at Kenichi, who had cuts and bruises on his hands, shoulders and leg. His upper body was fine due to the vest that Shigeru had made for him. Huff. I forgot to remove my restraints, replied Kenichi. Ha 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 ha. Seriously, we are fighting an assassin who was half-stepped to Grandmaster and you caught him with your restraints, said a laughing Sakaki. HMNP, you are one to say. If I wasn't there, then you would have already lost from him, as without me protecting this guy he would be dead before you could even come back, said Kenichi, accusing Sakaki. Cough cough. Okay, let's get our from here, we will take a taxi from her, said Sakaki as he jumped out of the train, followed by Kenichi and lastly Ghosh, who have kept his gun back with him. Your choice had brought a lot of people lives close to death, Master Sakaki, Kenichi said as he looked at Sakaki sitting on the front seat with the taxi driver in the taxi. Shut up. It wasn't my fault. My plan was good, and since we had dealt with the spy, how the hell did he even got to know about us, Sakaki said. Who knows, maybe the spy must have put a tracker on Ghosh or something that he carries with himself, as she never came close to both of us, Kenichi replied. What would I have a tracker on me? Asked Ghosh in surprise. Well, that is the only plausible explained, as there is no way that we won't find if someone was tailing us, Kenichi replied. Hearing this answer, Sakaki glared daggers at Ghosh and asked, what are the things you always carry with yourself? No, nothing much, just some cards and my personal gun, replied Ghosh. Give me your gun, Sakaki ordered, to which he hurriedly complied and passed out the gun to him, as the man was already scared shitless from the earlier fight of him and Christopher. Sakaki took the gun and crushed it into pieces with one hand. Ghosh's face turned pale seeing this, while Kenichi wasn't even paying attention to it anymore. From the broken gun, Sakaki picked up a small piece of glowing object, proving Kenichi's hypothesis correct that a tracker was placed on him. You were right, Kenichi, there was a tracker on him, but it isn't necessary that there is only one tracker. We will go a hotel so that Ghosh could change his clothes and leave all his belonging to his bodyguards. Sakaki said, then looked at the taxi driver, who was shivering and sweating. Drop is around the next corner. The driver nodded his head and took a turn, dropping the 3 and drive if his taxi at a great speed without even taking the payment. Come on, Master Sakaki, you didn't even patted the poor taxi driver, Kenichi said. He drive the taxi too fast for me to pay him, Sakaki shouted. It's all right, I dropped some cash on his seat when I came out of it, replied Kenichi with a smile. Your injuries are healed, it seems, Sakaki said as he looked at Kenichi, whose cuts have stopped bleeding totally. Yeah, I heard fast when I use my internal energy to focus on my injuries. Let's go, we have to buy some clothes for Mr. Ghosh as well. Kenichi said. Yeah, you go check in the hotel room while I take him to buy some change of clothes for him. Sakaki said as he gestured Ghosh to follow him. Kenichi curled in the hotel room and needed the room number to Sakaki, then went to a room to rest for the time they aren't here. It took 15 minutes and Sakaki returned with Ghosh, who was holding a bag of clothes with him. "Go take a bath and change your clothes into these, then we will go to the meeting place," said Sakaki. Ghosh hurriedly went towards the bathroom to do as Sakaki had told him to do. "You should also remove those restraints, as we don't know when we will have to figure him again," said Sakaki. "Yeah, I will later, but for now I want to rest because later we again have to start this hiding and protecting," replied Kenichi. "What, tired already?" asked Sakaki. "Unlike you, I didn't sleep much last night, master, as I had some matters to look, hence I am gonna rest now," Kenichi said and laid on the sofa, not caring anything else that Sakaki wanted to say. Chapter 129, Twin Towers. After getting out of the hotel, the three of them didn't face any problem at all, making it easy for Sakaki and Kenichi to do their job. 2 days went the same way without any problems, and today was the last day of Ghost's tour in Japan. His last meeting was on the Twin Towers with some of Japan's finest. After the meeting, Sakaki and Kenichi will take him directly to the airport, where he will board the plane and their job will be finished. Ghost's meeting has just ended and Kenichi and Sakaki were getting ready for taking him out of there, but the lights of Twin Tower went out. "What the hell? IT's Twin Towers, for fuck's sake!" Kenichi cursed. "Ha, bastard must have cut their power and destroyed the generator to do this," Sakaki said. "Kenichi, use your Psychokin to protect Ghosh from the back and I will take his front. Let's see how Christopher will attack." "Yes, Master Sakaki," replied Kenichi and used Psychokin standing behind Ghosh. "How? How did he find us this time out?" Ghosh questioned. "Must be from the guy you just met. He or his secretaries must have sold the information about you," Sakaki said. Kenichi and Sakaki didn't drop their vigilance even after no one attacking them for 10 minutes straight. "Master Sakaki, I have a bad feeling that we are playing in the hands of Christopher," Kenichi said. "Why do you say so?" asked Sakaki. "That bastard didn't attack us when the lights went out, and now that we have adjusted our eyes to the dark we can defend Ghosh even if they are wearing night goggles," Kenichi replied, and his eyes went wide open as if he had just figured out something. "Shit. What? What? What happened?" asked Ghosh and Sakaki at once, but before Kenichi could reply the lights came back and their eyes, which got accustomed to the dark, weren't able to see clearly in the light. "Fuck!" cursed Kenichi and Sakaki as from their blurry vision they saw that they were being attacked by Christopher's 2 girls, for each of them, while he himself was above their heads going for Ghosh, who was in between them. Even though Kenichi's eyes weren't clear enough to see, he was able to sense the 2 girls, and the moment they entered his Psychokin, Kenichi counterattacked, and since his vision wasn't clear he attacked without holding back, bashing both the girls' faces along with their body, knocking them out. Sakaki on the other hand used a single leg to kick the 2 girls at once while his hands counteracted with Christopher's kicks. Christopher saw that his girls were taken down by both master and disciple without much effort by them. Since he wasn't expecting such a fast reaction from the disciple, he was a little shocked. "Oh, did you train your disciple in the 2 days, Shio-chan? He has become really fast," asked Christopher with a little cold voice as how his girls were treated, but not much, as he knew that nothing was permanent. "Ha ha ha, you wish. This is his real speed. When you fought him in the train he was wearing restraints, otherwise you wouldn't have been able to hurt him that much, or better you may have lost against him," said Sakaki, trying to provoke Christopher. "HMNP, do you think I am a fool or what, trying to provoke me with these petty words, Shio-chan?" said Christopher as he charged towards Sakaki and started the barrage of kicks against Sakaki's barrage of punches. Since the fight was between masters, Kenichi kept his eyes focused on the 2 so that he could get some enlightenment from it. Ghosh, who was standing on his side, took out a gun and pointed at Christopher. "Ah, surprised are you? Do you think that I, Ghosh Wing, can't get another gun if you put a tracker on my previous gun? Idiot! What are you doing?" Sakaki said as he looked cursed at Ghosh while looking at him, giving the chance that Christopher was looking for. Christopher moved towards Ghosh and Sakaki tried to block him as he punched in his direction, but Christopher moved his body around the punch, gripping the hand holding Sakaki's back. "Damn it," cursed Sakaki. "You're always getting distracted. Even when you look away for a second you lose the fighting spirit. It's too bad for you that you forgot about the Sabbath throws of Parsian wrestling," said Christopher as he turned his body using the center of gravity and throwed Sakaki out of the tower. "Master! This fucking prick! Kenichi cursed, but not at Christopher. He was cursing Ghosh instead, as this bastard who God knows from where got a gun and choose such a moment to distract Sakaki. Worrying about a maggot like this. Shio, you always were too nice for this world, said Christopher as he moved towards Ghosh. Yulu, shouted Ghosh as he started shooting his gun. Bang 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 asterisk came the noise as he shot the bullets continuously. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, said Christopher as he dodged the bullet and came in front of Ghosh after the seventh bullet. Click click asterisk came the noise as Ghosh pulled the trigger, but not a single bullet came out. That's right, pot of ammo, said Christopher with a smile. Now to deal with you, Christopher said, but before he could hurt Ghosh at all, a punch came to his face, hitting him square on his cheek. The punch shocked Christopher as he wasn't expecting that Sakaki was able to climb so fast and punch him without him even noticing his killing intent. But Christopher was once again shocked when he saw that the preparator was not Sakaki but instead his disciple. Don't think that I would let you go just like that without any rematch, said Kenichi as he stood in his fighting stance. Ha! Don't think high of yourself, you were lucky to punch me as I didn't felt any killing intent from you, said Christopher as he kicked towards Kenichi. Kenichi was ready for this as he has already changed his Psychoken to Ryuusei Psychoken. The kick of Christopher was easily deflected by Kenichi, then he punched at him, forcing Christopher to jump back. Let's get it on with the round 2, Kenichi smirked while Christopher was shocked as he mumbled, Ki no Shuka. Chapter 130. Kenichi vs. Christopher. Let's get it on with the round 2, Kenichi smirked while Christopher was shocked as he mumbled, Ki no Shuka. Kenichi charged forward and attacked Christopher with his attacks, who used his strong and precise kicks to hurt Kenichi. But unlike before, Kenichi was fast enough to counteract the kicks with karate, Muay Thai, Chinese, and Jiu-Jitsu. He has taken a variety of martial arts, thought Christopher as he analyzed Kenichi. Oh, what style is this? Attacking my pressure points with his hands covered in the kihu, it looks like Chinese style's bagwazang and touch of death, but it's more precise and deadly than it. Never thought that Shio-chan's disciple would have such a dangerous technique. Understanding that the technique could make him a cripple if used correctly, he jumped back so as to not lose his legs. How did Shio-chan let you learn such a dangerous technique? Asked Christopher. It had nothing to do with Master Sakaki as it's a technique that I created myself, replied Kenichi. Christopher was shocked hearing that the kid standing in front of him created such a dangerous style. It's good that you came, as I have created a few more techniques but didn't have anyone to practice it against. Thank you for that, said Kenichi as he took a deep breath, then looked at Christopher, releasing the breath. Christopher could feel the pressure from Kenichi's eyes and released his doki to full strength, ready to face Kenichi the moment he moves towards him. Vacuum palm. Kenichi thrust at his right hand forward. A vacuum shell compressed using the gentle fist was formed to attack the opponent's vitals from a distance. Christopher wasn't expecting an attack from such a distance and was a little late to move, hence he was blown off his feet with tremendous force before he could even notice that he was hit. Luckily he shifted his body at the last minute and his vitals were not damaged, but still they were sore from that invisible hit. Ha! As I thought, it's really powerful, more that good enough to take down a master if he isn't expecting such an attack, right? Christopher asked Kenichi. You are no more a disciple. You have entered the master class. Cough cough, said as he coughed up a little of his blood. Only a low-class master, but yeah, a master. I just recently entered it after my fight with a master itself, said Kenichi as he smiled. Now let's go, I have few more techniques that I want to practice. Bastard, you think I am a practice dummy? Cursed Christopher as his body moved around Kenichi, circling around him. Let's see how you dodge kicks from all sides, said Christopher as he kicked and moved his body, then kicked Kenichi again from a different direction to confuse him from blocking all his kicks. Palms revolving heaven. Kenichi smiled and his body started to emit internal energy, ki, from all of his body's pressure points to block it. Then he spun rapidly, repelling the attack, and anything else in the vicinity, away and creating a protective shield for as long as they continue to spin. The greater the force of an attack, the greater the force with which it's repelled. Hence Christopher was repelled with greater from the protective shield. Well, what the hell is this? Christopher asked in shock. My body have more ki than two people's have in their bodies, so techniques like these are what I am good at, said Kenichi as he stopped spinning and the protective shield disappeared. This where the hell did Sakaki got such a disciple, was the only thoughts that came to Christopher's mind. Ghosh, who was watching all of this from a side, was more shocked than Christopher, as what he saw Kenichi do was something that not even shown in the movies. This is my self-made arts, and only now do I know that they are practically possible to be used in fights, all thanks to you. As a parting gift, please let me show you one more technique, Kenichi said as he dashed towards Christopher with a smile on his face. Christopher wasn't as angry as before, as he was facing a genius who only comes once in quadrillion with body gifted by the heavens. So he moved with a greater speed as he said, "You have only stepped in the masterclass, and with that body and ki of yours you can take on masterclass for sure, but I am not just someone of ordinary masterclass can take on." Moving, twisting his body to dodge Kenichi's palms, as he knew that none of them were simple, and kicked his stomach, thighs and shoulder, pushing Kenichi backward. "You need more than just strength to take on someone as me if you want to be of any help to your master in the fight against Yami," said Christopher, jumping above Kenichi's head as he did a 360 and kicked Kenichi's back, throwing him forward. "Man, and here I thought that I would be able to take him down," thought Kenichi. "Only through more fights will you be able to gain the necessary experience that is needed to use all the techniques with ease." "Shio-chan can't give you that experience, but I can. Why don't you come with me?" Christopher said with a smile as he thought of taking this gem from Shio-chan. "Oh, trying to take my disciple, are you, Christopher?" came Sakaki's voice from behind Christopher as he entered the tower from the same broken window from which Christopher had thrown him. Hearing this voice, Christopher's face was blue as he knew what was coming. A second later, Sakaki has punched him several times all over his body. As if the punishment wasn't enough, Sakaki continued the fierce attack, leaving Christopher with no way of defending himself. Another wall collapsed as Sakaki kicked Christopher into it. Explosions could be seen from the distance, even though no explosives were actually involved. Since Kenichi already knew that Sakaki would not kill Christopher, he just went to a seat and sat on it, thinking about the fight and words that Christopher said to him. "Next time I won't go easy on you," said Sakaki, hearing which Kenichi looked at Christopher as he thought, "All his bones are broken and you say that you were going easy on him." That wraps up this part of What If Martial Artist Reborn is Kenichi Shirahama. Thanks so much for listening. As always, new parts drop every 4 days, so be sure to stay tuned. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and please consider supporting the original author as well. See you in the next one.